hands on the officer bluffing me. I stiff him, I'm down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Won't back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm trying to get in. Open the playbook, the book of the champion. Get flipped if you trying to get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on first and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta get all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
Thicker the bag. Meet him a bite, now listen no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a, tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim, in my denim, she was trying to for a doubt, she don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane, asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, my. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run it.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. And you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run run for the first time with Johnson. And here a juke. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain of 32 that time.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, Got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And now another one thrown incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Here's Bortles to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. And they've got it here with a first down. Now Trubisky. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Trubisky will throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. But guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something. And his first carry, he loses the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Punch right, punch right, punch right.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On play action, it's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way. And
he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Come on, gotta go.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
He's going to fire one, and that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Right, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. This will be caught inside the 10. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Now it's Trubisky. And his throw here's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you see.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Trubisky stepping up, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Mitchell Trubisky, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Now Bortles. And it's intercepted. Picked up by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he didn't make it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
Yeah, he did. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on 1 finger. They've only given him the rock 1 time, Charles. What gives? So
we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Reyes. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, it's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Bortles now on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Green 80.
The final shot before half for Bortles. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. The Bengals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Back in the 1st quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the 1st quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Paul Richardson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Bortles to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, That big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Green 80. Green 80.
On first down, Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Green 80.
They'll toss it to Breida. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Throwing is Bortles. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
To me, there's nothing like watching rookie effort in the NFL. So excited to be there. They're going to give you the max on each and every play, aren't they?
Well, he proved himself on that catch, that's for sure.
I think he may have proved himself to the point where he's going to get a second here.
Throwing now is Bortles. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now it's Breida. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on third down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They'll try to run with Breida. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. So stuff from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
The carry here for the big tight end. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On third down, that's Potter. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on fourth down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles got to have this one. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever. Vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's got room. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Bortles. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Bortles now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
380. 380.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. McKinnon here, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
380. 380.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Set. 380.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They are, by the way, into the 4th quarter now in Oakland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be just their 2nd of the year if they could hold on. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Bortles going to throw. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And all the way home for the Broncos score. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they'll run it on the toss. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw, it's Bortles. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles. And his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A gain of 8 and a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
380.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Denver, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports,